For TraderInsight.com, I'm Adrian Manz, and let's have another strategy session. This is in regards to the Baltimore Chop opening gap strategy that I detail in Around the Horn and that we talked about quite extensively at the boot camps and the Income Trading Academy. So if you participated in either of those events, then you have some TradeStation code that goes through and finds for you opening gaps that meet the criteria that we talked about in great detail. And this morning, what you saw was that Home Depot was really the gap on this extensive list of gaps here that made the most sense in terms of a fade. So why was that? Very quickly, let's take a look. Caterpillar seemed like it was an obvious choice because it was a $108 stock, but look what happened in the first bar of trading, right? We had a close that was 108 and a high on that bar of 108.28, so there was only a 20-cent target in that first bar of trading. Now it did go make a big move, right? So we had a really good opening reversal move, and if you went in above the high of the opening bar, that was a good trade to take. But if you were looking for the easy solution, for the easy trade, you were looking at the close of this and trying to figure out, is that going to give you enough room up into the top of the bar to make a healthy profit? So obviously when you see a $108 stock with only about 20 cents in profit potential, that says take a look at what else is going on before you make a decision. And in this case, CCL, that's a $36 stock. MAS, that's $21. Those we just sort of passed on just by virtue of the fact that we had so many high-priced issues in here. Let's take a look at Mohawk. Here we see an entry opportunity above the high of the first bar of trading, since we had a close right at the high of that bar. And if you caught that one, that's great. After this next bar opened, traded down, traded back up through it, that was a very logical entry to take. If you like a little less wiggle, Tractor Supply, TSCO. This one makes the move lower. But if you look at this very next bar, you see that this one did have some potential for profit. It opened, immediately traded higher, so we didn't really get a reversal of that first closing price. Once it traded lower, we got all the way down in here before we had the deepest bar in our pullback, and that gave us a nice possibility for an entry at 57.21 in the next bar, and then, of course, a target all the way up at the open of the day, which would have been at 58.20. But the one that I chose to focus on was Home Depot. Home Depot made a nice opening move lower. Very, very liquid stock. Trades in the high 70s, close to $80 a share. Came down, closed low in the bar, opened the next bar, made a move lower again, and then traded up through the entry price, which gives us then a logical profit target right at the open of the day at 79.05, and with an entry up at 78.20. With a target all the way up at 79.05, we see that that's got some very nice potential for a gap reversal, and in fact we see that with a little bit of consternation, the stock managed to make that move. Again, if you go back through the materials, if you watch the videos, there's a couple of ways that we can enter these, and definitely a couple of ways that we can establish the targets. The ones I'm covering in the video today are just my favorites. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, adrian@traderinsight.com. Best trader education anywhere, only from Trader Insight.